This is the exact script I used to manifest my husband, to manifest money, which included getting out of debt, improving my credit score, getting an SUV, and even manifesting a better relationship with my kids. I'm so happy and grateful to see how far I've come. I love logging into my bank account and not feeling that stress anymore about needing to move money around to make things work and pay different bills. Last weekend, my husband and I stayed in bed all morning. We skipped going to the gym to lay in bed and cuddle and watch How I Met Your Mother. I got up, I made pancakes. They didn't quite turn out perfect, but he did eat every last bite, even though I added too many blueberries. It rained that afternoon and it cleared up a little bit. The sun came out and we went for a walk in my favorite park. And we came home and my socks were wet. I changed them and we had the best time together. This is what scripting actually looks like. And if you've ever sat down at the computer or in your journal and not known what to write, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it here. I'm Elizabeth and I help people manifest real change in their life using practical techniques that actually work. If you've been following the scripting series, we've already talked about how to do it and if it's not working yet, what might be wrong. Today, we're going to get really practical and I'm going to show you exactly what to write. Before we get started, I want you to know that if you've already started scripting and you haven't seen any results yet, you are not doing anything wrong. I want you to really feel that, really hear that and internalize it. You are not doing anything wrong. You've heard the steps on how to do it. You know you're supposed to write in past tense, but nobody shows you exactly what to write. So that's where I'm going to help bridge the gap today. So let's break down what you just heard because there are a few things happening there that really matter. First, if you noticed, I was writing about normal things that happen on a day-to-day basis. Going to the gym, watching Netflix, laying around in bed, paying bills. All of those things are something that anyone and everyone could do on any given day. We're not talking about going on some crazy vacation. We're not talking about winning the lottery and winning millions of dollars. These are normal things that happen that you can see from where you're sitting in your current life right now to where you want to go. When you start incorporating those big, crazy experiences, you're becoming too far away from where you want to go in your life. And it becomes very hard for your subconscious to understand and believe that that's possible. But when you are manifesting something and can see from the down here perspective, not way up here, down here, living that life, what happens? The results are going to show up faster because it's easier to sink in. The next thing you'll notice is that it is written from a standpoint that it already happened. I am not talking about what will happen in the future. I'm talking about what already happened in the past. It was last weekend. We already did it. We already had that lazy day, that lazy morning making pancakes. We already paid the bills. When it's already happened, you're telling your subconscious that you did this. It becomes believable when you pair the two, the normal experiences written in the past tense, and as you're writing, you're visualizing it in your mind. And third, you're mixing the big things with the small things. So you're starting at a high level. I'm so happy and grateful that things are going well. And then you bring it down. You start that higher level and you're bringing it narrow down to what is living in the moment, what it feels like. Now let me show you how to actually write this yourself. I want you to keep it simple. Start with an opener like, I'm so happy and grateful now that. And that's my go-to line. And everything else can follow. And like I said, start high. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have seen my life literally shift from being very difficult to the most amazing relationship where I am loved and feeling so confident in myself, starting at that high level. This is where you start building the scene that you want to create. Then you're going to pick some everyday experiences of what does that really mean? That your life has gone in the right direction, that things have changed, that you're seeing things improve. Does that mean money? And I like to think about my life in different pillars. So it's the relationships, it's the career, it's the kids, it's the money, it's the car, it's the house, all of those things. And maybe next to your journal, you have a list of those pillars that you can kind of get into and think about what you're going to be scripting about that day. And when you're doing this, go into those details. So let's start with money. What does it look like for you to have that money? I went to the Target the other day and was browsing through the store, and I was with my daughter and she was running up and down the toy aisle and so excited that I told her she could buy a toy. And I didn't have to look at the price. I could buy her literally anything and everything she wanted. Maybe I chose not to buy her that big expensive, $1,000, I don't know what it would even cost $1,000 at Target, but I was able to do it. I had the money. I didn't have to worry about it. Or you can use the bill example, or you can use, we went to the car lot and we're looking at BMWs or Mercedes or whatever kind of car. And, I didn't really like the vibe I was getting from that particular store. And so I went to another dealer and decided, there was a really good deal in Pennsylvania and we took a road trip. And so you're going to keep it very simple experiences. And when you start high, it gives you the framework to kind of feed into those more narrow experiences, and you want it believable. So I want to be honest with you about something that I'm so happy and grateful now that doesn't always feel natural to me. It kind of feels forced. And that may be the case for you, but it's what I need personally to get me started. And if that first line doesn't necessarily resonate with you, doesn't necessarily feel like it's a normal thing you would say, because let's just face it, that's not something, I'm so happy and grateful now that you don't say that in your regular life. But once you get past that line and move on to the storytelling of it all in the past tense of all of those wonderful experiences that you have manifested, that you're calling in, that is where the magic happens. That is where you want to be. And so if you have to use a statement like that to get to the details and the nitty-gritty of what's actually going to work, that's okay. And that's why I continue to use it. But I'll give you a couple other examples that you can use if that doesn't really sit with you. So a few other ideas I brainstormed was, lately I've been noticing it's been feeling really natural too. I didn't expect this, but I've been thinking about how different things feel now. It's kind of crazy how normal this has become. Something like that might be helpful, but the key is to start with something and then go from there. This is just to get you into flow, just to get you started. But here's the part that I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about. When you are scripting and you are doing it every day, because it requires repetition and habit to get to the place where you've manifested everything that you've wanted, it gets boring. You're writing about the same Netflix shows and the same pancakes and the same paying your bills and all of that. And it's fine to repeat it day in and day out as you're going through the process. But it gets really boring. And I have found myself in that place where it's like, okay, I'm scripting, I'm feeling good, I have my AirPods in, I'm jamming out, listening to my inspirational music, and I am writing, I am improvising. Things change a little bit day to day, but for the most part, I have felt that all of this is changing. I can start to believe it. So I'm going to keep writing about it. And when it gets boring, it means that that has become embedded in your subconscious. It has become believable, and your change is happening inside of you. You can start assimilating to the life that you want, because it is normal. It is normal to think about being with that partner in bed on a lazy Sunday in the rain and watching How I Met Your Mother and making pancakes or going on a hike and all of those things. It is normal for me to sit down and be excited to look at my bank account, not scared anymore because that money's there. The $1,000 refund that I totally forgot about this thing just shows up in my bank account because the universe is always showing up for me. And when that happens, that means you are so close to receiving that manifestation. And pretty soon, you're going to be actually in your current life where you're standing right now, be looking back and saying, man, how did I get there? And that is why this manifestation journey is so fun and why I stuck around with it for so long, because when it shows up, and it shows up pretty sneaky where you don't even realize things are changing and moving and aligning to create that life you wanted. And one day you wake up and you're like, man, how did I get here? So when you're getting bored with it, I want to urge you, don't quit then. Make it part of your day-to-day schedule. And even when it's boring, even when you feel like, okay, it's coming because I'm at this bored state, keep going. That's where people fail. They stop. And then the momentum of getting there just stops. You have to keep going. And if you sit down to your scripting one day and you are feeling like, man, this doesn't feel quite right, I'm feeling forced, I'm not getting into that flow state, I want you to remember, again, you are not doing it wrong, but you need to find that state. And the way to do that, again, is your music. And if that's not working, you can try the reset by taking some deep breaths, meditating for a little bit. And that is the most important piece of this, is that you find that state so it can really sink into your subconscious. And remember, stacking methods is another really good tool. If you haven't grabbed my 1-minute mirror reset, that's another one that pairs well with scripting. I'll throw the link to that in the comments, so grab that if you haven't yet. And let me know in the comments what you are scripting right now. And there's still one piece to scripting that can make it feel not real yet. I will talk about that in the next video. If this video has resonated with you and added value, make sure to subscribe and like. And if you haven't caught the other videos in the series, you can catch those here.